Right. Hello, my name is Passalacqua. I'm a fifth-year Ph.D. student, almost done. So I started my bachelor's degree at McGill in psychology and behavioral sciences. And then I decided to go to HEC, to the HEC Montréal for the UX program, the user experience program. And then I moved on to Tech Montréal to do my PhD, but in collaboration with the Tech3Lab. So I'm mostly spending all my time at the lab and some time at Polytechnique to do my research. Concerning my research, I think it's very helpful for society and for businesses as well. And I can see that through the funding I got, either through the Tech3Lab or from the Canadian government, the Quebec government. But my research basically tackles the human aspect of designing AI. So I'm trying to find a way to design artificial intelligence in a way that doesn't take away the dignity of the human worker, to help them feel like the AI is helping them and not taking over their job in a way. I'm focused mostly in a manufacturing plant. My research is applicable to any kind of industry. And as a whole, it helps society because happy employees make happy humans. Throughout my 5 years as a PhD student and my 2 years as a master's student before that, Tech3Lab has brought me many opportunities that have kind of put me out there and out of my comfort zone and made me ambitious. Whether it's sending me abroad for a 3-month data collection in France, or just submitting to high-impact journals that force you to really write the best you can and then answer reviewers as best you can. The Tech3Lab pushes you, and my supervisors, Pierre-Majoric Léger, pushes you at your limit, but in a positive way. It brings the best out of you. The Tech3Lab throughout my years has empowered me to be the best researcher I can by offering me state-of-the-art equipment that I wouldn't otherwise have access to. Other laboratories usually share equipment between multiple laboratories, but here I was able to pick and choose state-of-the-art equipment that I wanted to use. And I was encouraged to choose even new equipment that wasn't at the lab and to learn how to use it and become my own kind of expert. And behind that, I had a whole team at the Tech3Lab to help me, whether it's with the technical aspects, the statistical aspects, or just the everyday data collection. I was supported throughout my whole PhD and during my master's as well. The thing I love the most about the lab, I think, is the opportunity to collaborate with industry, and that shaped my whole PhD and my whole future career as an assistant professor. Basically, it allows me to get on the field and see what the real problems are and how to address them through research, basically. And the thing about industry research is that there are some limitations on the field that you don't necessarily have in the lab, whether it's the equipment you use, the amount of participants and everything. So it kind of collaborating with industry kind of put me in the situation that I have to deal with those contingencies. I found that when I talked about my research with industry outside of the lab, outside of the Tech3Lab, whether it's for a job interview or just mingling with colleagues, people look at this research and the researchers see this research as extremely valuable. And during the beginning of my PhD, I kind of took that for granted. I was like, oh, everyone kind of has this situation, but it's really what marks the special part of the lab. It's this collaboration with industry. There's a bunch of partners out there who want to do research with you. They're not being forced, they're paying for this. And they want your expertise and the expertise of a lab to solve a real problem. Another great thing about collaborating with industry is, during my master's at HEC Montréal, I was able to work with a company and I was able to get funding from a government agency. So that was really good to support me during that time. And during the PhD, when I was co-supervised at HEC Montréal and Polytechnique, I was able to apply for government grants, the Fonds de Recherche du Québec. I was able to gain funding, and I think what pushed me over the edge was that I had a real problem and I was collaborating with the company and solving a real issue related to human-centered AI, basically. Through my 7 years at the lab, I had the opportunity to participate in conferences both internationally and nationally. For example, in 2018, I got a paper accepted at the NeuroIS conference in Vienna. And there I was able to meet with professors and students who share a similar interest in some sorts, but also widened my view of my own research. There's also the social aspect where you can go grab a coffee with students and colleagues after the conference and enjoy the city, get to know the culture a little bit. So there's that whole fun, but also research aspect that's really fun. During my PhD, I was able to participate in many Tech3Lab organized conferences where I was able to greatly practice my speaking skills and to find a way to modify my research, not modify, but to frame my research in a way that's applicable to different audiences. For example, the large public or to other researchers. And I've done many that the lab organized, big and small, and that really helped me as a researcher to develop my skills and also to get feedback from other researchers as well. I was able to get the best of both worlds from both universities to make my research get to the next level. I was very fortunate to find an assistant professor job before finishing my PhD at UQAM in applied psychology, and I believe the Tech3Lab was instrumental for me getting that job. First of all, by allowing me to be very ambitious, I was able to publish in high-impact journals and important conferences as well. So that part was very good. It was very necessary to get that job. Also, because the Tech3Lab is so big, I was able to have many opportunities to be a mentor to master students and students at the bachelor level. And through that, I was able to develop my skills as someone who transfers knowledge. So as a professor, as a teacher even. And that was very beneficial during my interview for the professor job. It really showed, I think.